Now, we're going to be looking at the various coronations of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Here, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was first ordained as the 213th Guru Mahasannidhanam, which is the Pontiff of Kanchi Kailasa Sarvingyapitam, Titonde Mandaladinam. Then, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was also coronated as the incumbent emperor of Suryavamshi Surangi Sambrajya. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was then coronated as the 23rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Dharmamukti Swargopuramadinam, as the 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam of Kailasonatha Shyamlapita Sarvingyapitam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also been coronated as the present Mahamandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Akhada, which is the largest apex monastic order of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also been coronated as the 1008th Acharya Mahamandaleshwar, which is the head of all spiritual leaders of Atal Akhada, which is the ancient-most apex body of Hinduism. We can also see here the ceremony of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation over 1,000 Hindu pontiffs, Hindu leaders. The sovereign state of Sri Kailasa is a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, whose vision is living enlightenment for all of humanity. Kailasa's mission is to revive and share with today's world the practical applications of the greater sciences of authentic Hinduism, including Hindu cosmic physics, Hindu alchemy, Hindu cosmology, Hindu biology, Hindu mathematics, power manifestation, and other sciences, as revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. These sciences were once practiced freely in over 56 nations across the continent, but are now facing extinction due to the persecution over a millennium. The technical glitch. Now, moving on, we have the 108 Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations initiatives. Sri Kailasa Uniting Nation initiatives are 108 different initiatives supporting a variety of humanitarian efforts, humanitarian services, which collectively allow for the creation of an enlightened, peaceful, sustainable, equitable, resilient, and thriving world. One of these projects of these initiatives by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations is the No Hungry Home project offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for nutritious food and a hunger-free world. 1 billion meals have been served over the past 27 years. Every month for the past 27 years, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Hindu ASMT community has served more than 3 months, which are the free organic meals as per the tradition, in religious gatherings to everyone without discrimination. 10,000 meals are served daily free of cost and up to 100,000 meals on festival days. You can also see here photos of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself on many occasions serving and doing the Annadan. Now we are looking at one of Kailasa's protective and preventive COVID care centers offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for affordable and holistic healthcare. During the pandemic, which was a global event which each and every one of us have been affected from, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism converted his own monasteries, campuses into multi-layer quarantine facilities, free for all people, regardless of any difference in age, in gender, caste, creed, ethnicity, color, or social economic status. Food, shelter, internet, and all basic facilities, including free medical care, were provided for an indefinite amount of time, as long as these people taking refuge were stayed and needed. Around 30 million citizens followed Kailasa's 28-day spiritual regimen in the year 2020. Here now we're looking at one of the United Nations projects by Sri Kailasa for education reform and development. The Nithyananda Hindu University, which is the largest Hindu university established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as well as the Nithyananda Gurukul. The Nithyananda Gurukul on October 2nd, 2006, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism inaugurated the Nithyananda Gurukul, the revival of the ancient Adi Shaivite Guru disciple education system, which is an authentic knowledge transmission system based on enlightenment. Nithyananda Hindu University has more than 20 million people enrolled, more than 7,000 free courses, and extended campuses in 150 countries. Here now we can see the Nithyananda Jnanalaya project and Hinduism Pedia project offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for the protection of Hindu scriptures. The Nithyananda Jnanalaya project, the Nithyananda Hindu Jnanalaya project, was established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to collect and preserve the 1 million Hindu scriptures while ensuring that knowledge is made accessible and shared free of cost to all. Collecting and preserving 1 million source books of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has authored more than 10,000 books in 3 different languages, and these books have been translated into 50 other different languages, published 10,000 articles, and has given 10,000 plus hours of free discourses on YouTube with more than 1 billion views. Kailasa's Hinduism Pedia is a collection where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has collected more than 15 terabytes of digital material, digital books, and rare manuscripts from all 19 Sarvingapitams, ancient mutts, and ashrams. 1 million pages on Hinduism collection of 22,000 digital books, 1,000 e-text books, and 100,000 articles on various topics in Hinduism. Yes, here we can see Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations project for global peace and religious harmony. In the year 2009, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized a month-long peace walk covering kilometers and 1,000 villages to bring together in harmony from all walks of life to promote feeling connection and oneness among people. During the walk, health camps were conducted in villages along its path. One of the other projects being offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations is the Project for Feminine Empowerment and Gender Equality. Kailasa's Yogini Sarvangapeetham established yoga and meditation universities to empower the quality of life and emphasis on life solutions through Vedas and Agamas, empowering the indigenous rural women, fighting against wrongful gender stereotyping, gender-based violence, and lack of inclusive and quality learning environments. Some of these initiatives include the Kailasa's Nithyananda Lakshmi project, which is a microfinancing service, Kailasa's Women Foundation and Women Empowerment Self-Help Centers, which have been launched in 108 different places around the world since 2009. Kailasa's Ankita program, which provides foundational literacy about working on basic community service and infrastructure establishments. Kailasa's Ashriya program, providing vocational training programs to rural and indigenous women to provide equal opportunities and access to independent, self-sufficient financial environments to them. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived the Vedic feminism in Kailasa, where 80% of all leadership positions are occupied by women. Here we can see the Nithyananda Yoga being offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for yoga. The Nithyananda Kriyas are 108 scientifically validated Kriyas revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, specifically targeting the 108 major diseases and disorders such as diabetes, arthritis, blood pressure, and so on. The revival of the ancient tradition forms of yoga, which are the Shivastambha Yoga, the Rope Yoga, and the Kundalini Raju Yoga, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is reviving all these different ancient art forms and yoga forms, as well as weight balancing techniques to perform to create yogic physiology, aligning it to cosmic geometry and manifesting superconscious powers. Not only that, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also been awarded 2 Guinness World Records for the largest rope yoga, Kundalini yoga, and the largest pole yoga, Shivastambha yoga classes, bringing worldwide attention to these extraordinary forms of yoga. These world records, Guinness World Records, were established on the 30th of September and the 3rd of October. Here we can see one of the most historic moments of Sri Kailasa, the first nation of Hindus, Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, spoke on behalf of 2 billion global Hindu diasporas at the 14th session of the United Nations Forum on Minority Issues. This is a significant milestone in the history of Hindus and the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa, happened on the December 2nd, 2021. His Excellency Sri Nitya Moksha Priyananda, Ambassador Extraordinary and of Kailasa, represented the persecution of Hindus as the 14th session on minority issues. The theme of the forum was conflict prevention and the protection of human rights of minorities. This was the first time the plight of persecuted Hindu minorities was represented in the United Nations. The systematic generational attacks on Hindu indigenous traditions were highlighted. Over 70 different assassination attempts and physical attack on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism have happened in India and abroad as well. 40 attacks on community members, destruction of monasteries and temples. Over 60 incidents of attacks, molestation and rape of women and women monks. Intense lawfare through the 100 different false legal cases on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, all but one have been dismissed. Not only that, but the intersectional persecution being used by the entire government, politically owned media, police, and judiciary controlled by politicians, inciting mob violence through the social media. These are just but a glimpse of the vast persecution which has been happening on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. But despite all this, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been continuing to contribute and give back to this very same society. In this next segment program, we're going to be looking at one of the most extraordinary and contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to all of us, which is the science of power manifestation. After a short break, we're going to be seeing what is the science of power manifestation, the reference of the power manifestation from the original Shastras, as well as a live demonstration of these powers. Please stay tuned. We'll be back after the break.
A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Vedagamas, the original source scriptures of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the ancient original Vedas and Agamas in all its glory, in a user-friendly way for the modern mind. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is transforming human beings into divine, initiating and replicating the 463 powers from the Agamas revealed by Paramashivam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not just giving solutions for every problem man faces, but is making them irrelevant to their lives by transforming human beings into divine beings.
Listen. Any argument presented by your mind, body, your present reality to establish you are not Paramashiva. You are not omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Anything presented to prove you are not Paramashiva, is illegitimate. Decide this. This is super determinism. Understand? Anything you declare as illegitimate.
A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Vedagamas, the original source scriptures of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the ancient original Vedas and Agamas in all its glory, in a user-friendly way for the modern mind. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is transforming human beings into divine beings, reviving, initiating, and replicating the 463 powers from the Agamas revealed by Paramashivam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not just giving solutions for every problem man faces, but is making them irrelevant to their lives by transforming human beings into divine beings.
Listen. Any argument presented by your mind, body, your present reality to establish you are not Paramashiva. You are not omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Anything presented to prove you are not Paramashiva is illegitimate. Decide this. This is super determinism. Understand? Anything you declare as illegitimate will lose power over you, will die in few days, few minutes, maybe in few weeks, whatever few days it takes. It will not have power over you. Understand, this is the method for sudden enlightenment. This is the method for sudden enlightenment. It happens by the Shaktipada. Here Paramashiva is sitting to tell you all, you are Paramashiva, you are me, with Shaktipada and Shaktinipada.
The Dvitiya Vijnasa Krama is an extensive and thorough yoga sequence to prepare your body to receive the experience being given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Through the yoga, which is aligned as per the source scriptures laid down by Paramashivam and the Agamas, you break all the impossibility in your body and in turn break the very cognition of impossibility. The program leads you to go beyond your human frame and limiting human ideas, which prevents you from living your highest possibility.
I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment.
I tell you, I am not here to prove I am God, I am here to prove you are God.
Don't wait to become divine. Register now at paramashivoham.org. A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Vedagamas, the original source scriptures of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the ancient original Vedas and Agamas in all its glory, in a user-friendly way for the modern mind. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is transforming human beings into divine beings, reviving, initiating, and replicating the 463 powers from the Agamas revealed by Paramashivam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not just giving solutions for every problem man faces, but is making them irrelevant to their lives by transforming human beings into divine beings.
Listen. any argument presented by your mind, body, your present reality to establish you are not Paramashiva. You are not omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Anything presented to prove you are not Paramashiva is illegitimate. Decide, this is super determinism. Understand? Anything you declare as illegitimate will lose power over you, will die in few days, few minutes, maybe in few weeks, whatever few days it takes. It will not have power over you. Understand? This is the method for sudden enlightenment. This is the method for sudden enlightenment. It happens by the Shaktipada. Here Paramashiva is sitting to tell you all, you are Paramashiva, you are me, with Shaktipada and Shaktinipada.
The Dvitiya Vijnasa Krama is an extensive and thorough yoga sequence to prepare your body to receive the experience being given by the Supreme Founder of Hinduism. Through the yoga, which is aligned as per the source scriptures laid down by Paramashiva and the Agamas, you break all the impossibility in your body and in turn break the very cognition of impossibility. The program leads you to go beyond your human frame and limiting human ideas, which prevents you from living your highest possibility.
I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment.
Again I tell you, I am not here to prove I am God, I am here to prove you are God.
Don't wait to become divine. Register now at paramashivoham.org. A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program, we help people to discover this.
I welcome all the viewers watching us live on all our social media platforms like Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and I welcome you all with my love and respects to this beautiful and powerful session on power manifestation. Today we are going to see a very powerful demonstration of the powers of Paramashiva, how from the Agamas and Vedas, these powers have been gifted down lineage by lineage, guru to disciple, to all of us to understand and to know that we are Paramashiva. Now, before that, we'll be seeing some details and what are the powers. We'll be understanding what is power manifestation. Is it some kind of occult thing, or is it really the manifestation of the super consciousness in us? So the Vedas and Agamas are the source scriptures of Hinduism, and Paramashiva reveals elaborate detail that every human being is hardwired to be able to manifest the extraordinary Shaktis of Paramashiva. Manifesting powers, Shaktis, are described as a systematic method and science for human beings to explore the various possibilities and powers that are being given in the Vedas and Agamas to all of us. Now we'll be understanding what is Shaktis and what is Siddhis. What is the difference between these two? So, Shaktis are the expression from the space of enlightenment, and as a side effect of feeling connection with the divine, with divinity or the guru. Whereas the siddhis are powers that manifest from tapas or your hard work. When you put your own hard work, when you put your own effort and try to gain something, that is siddhis. And the shaktis of Paramashiva manifest through ordinary human beings and in an extraordinary way after initiation from the avatar. And shaktis are permanent, whereas siddhis are not permanent, and siddhis may divert you from the path and goal of enlightenment or the path and goal of Paramashiva. Now we'll be seeing how these powers are validated. These powers are validated in 4 different ways. So there is the Shastra Pramana, Apta Pramana, Atma Pramana, and Pratyaksha Pramana. The Shastra Pramana is the direct revelation of these powers in the Vedas and Agamas. Now, for example, we have the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, which is directly revealed by Paramashiva to the humanity. So that is the Shastra Pramana. Then we have the Apta Pramana, which is the research and the experiences of various rishis and enlightened beings who have come before us and proven to the world through scientific research that and experience that these powers are real and will take us to the highest goal of Paramashivoham. Next, we have the Atma Pramana, which is the personal experiences of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, how he manifested these powers, how he learned these powers from his guru, and after experiencing these powers, he verified them with the Shastras and the Apta Pramanas, and after that acid wash, he has given it to us as his Atma Pramana. Next, we have the Pratyaksha Pramana, which is the scientific research. What science has to say about these manifestations and what science is able to understand from these manifestations. Now we are going to see the source of these Shaktis. The source of these Shaktis is Paramashiva. Paramashiva is the primordial divinity in Hinduism. He is the ultimate reality and the cause with which is said. He is the cause and causeless, self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasha, and all-pervading, omniscient he is. And Paramashiva is the ultimate goal and the ultimate source of. Now we are going to understand the ultimate truth about manifesting Shaktis, the Jnana, all the powerful cognitions of Paramashiva. When it is mapped into our consciousness, it is Prajna, and when these two come together, it becomes the power manifestation, Prajnana. So first we're going to be seeing the Pramanas. As we saw earlier, the Shastra Pramana, Apta Pramana, Atma Pramana, and Pratyaksha Pramana. We are going to see for the power of third eye, how this third eye has been given to us. So now we are going to be seeing the Shastra Pramana for the power of third eye, which is the base power, in the sense, base of our third eye, the intra-organ of our third eye, from which all these powers of Paramashiva are manifested. whether it might be remote vision or body scanning, everything is manifested through the power of the third eye. So the first will be pramana for the power of third eye. The pramana for the power is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 34. The verse goes, Kapala antarmano nyasa tishtanmilita lochanaha kramena manaso dadyat lakshayet lakshyamuttamam. The translation for this pramana is by fixing the mind on the inner space, which is within the crown center, and by stably bringing the awareness and bringing the eyes in succession to the third eye, one slowly starts having the connection with Paramashivam, and he is able to see beyond these two eyes. He is able to see the supreme ultimate goal, the Lakshyam, and he is able to see beyond all the obstacles, and he is in the space of Paramashiva. So this is the meaning of the Shastra Pramana from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Next we'll be seeing the Apta Pramana. How the ancient rishis and masters have manifested these Shaktis. So in the Mahabharata, which is the historical event of the Kurukshetra, where the two armies, where the two kings had, where the war of the Kurukshetra had happened, there in the story of the Mahabharata, there is a section which is the Bhagavad Gita, in which Krishna gives this initiation to Arjuna to view the cosmic form, the Vishwarupa Darshana of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. So in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna blesses Arjuna and initiates Arjuna into the power of third eye reading. He says that with these physical eyes of yours, you cannot see the Vishwarupa Darshana of mine. So I bless you with the third eye, and by that you will be with those divine vision, with the divine vision of the third eye, you will be able to hold my cosmic opulence. So, and after this initiation, the whole of the 11th chapter, Arjuna narrates the whole cosmic form of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, how Parandama was manifesting that Vishwarupa Darshana. Next, we'll see the Atma Pramana, how Swamiji, how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism manifested this power. In his own words, he says that when the first experience happened, I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degrees, behind him, in front of him, everything he was able to see. And he was able to feel everything around him, the stone he was sitting on, and the tree behind him, and the mountain, Arunachala mountain in front of him. He was able to feel everything was one with him.
On rock on which I was sitting, and the skin of this body, both carry me equally. In both, I exist equally.
Now we are going to see the Pratyaksha Pramana, which is the empirical evidence and the observations from the scientific researches that were conducted directly on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So they had conducted a PET scan, a PET scan, which measures the activity in our brain. And when they had done that, they had seen that all the the whole brain activity was, there was a lot of brain activity in the frontal lobe where the third eye is present. So this is the pratyaksha pramana for the power of third eye, for the power of third eye reading. Now we'll be seeing the power of consciousness over matter.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Yes, now we'll be seeing the Shastra Pramana for one of the powers from which manifests from the space of the third eye, which is the power of consciousness over matter. The Shastra Pramana for the power of consciousness over matter is also from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 120, Dharana 95. Kvachid vastuni vinyasya shanay drishtim nivartayet tajnanam chitta sahitam devi shunyalayo bhavet. Beautifully, in this verse, Paramashiva says that having fixed one's gaze on a particular object, one should slowly remove the thoughts, impressions, and any cognitions that you hold about that particular object. Then one abides in the space of shunya, which is the state of all inclusiveness or infinite space. So this is the meaning of the Shastra Pramana. So now I'll be manifesting the power of consciousness over matter. So I'll be projecting my Atmalinga. So we are going to be manifesting the power with my Atmalinga. I'm going on a flat surface and I'm going to be placing the Atmalinga on top of my hand. Then I'll be chanting the Mahavakya and connecting with Paramashiva. And when that happens, we'll all be able to see the beautiful manifestation of the Atmalinga standing. Swamiji had beautifully initiated all of us into this power recently, and as the Sakshi Pramana, which is the manifestation of all the devotees and disciples of a particular lineage, how after Swamiji manifests and gives us the initiation, all of us manifest, and that is the Sakshi Pramana. So we'll be seeing the Sakshi Pramana, and just to make the power manifestation as authentic as possible, the Atmalinga, I'll be just giving a few explanations about how the manifestation is going to happen. The Atmalinga is made of spatika, which is a crystalline material, and there cannot be any magnetic pull which can be used to make the Atmalinga stand. And also, I'll be showing my hand in a close-up, so all of you will be able to see that there are no strings or no glue which has been stuck to anything. There's no strings tied to the Atmalinga, and the manifestation will be happening authentically. So now we can see my Atmalinga.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda.
Yes, now we can see my Atmalinga and my hand. So I can see my hand is placed on this flat surface, and this is just a cushion, so that even when the Atmalinga falls, the Atmalinga is not damaged, as the Atmalinga is a very sacred object. So we can see my hand and the Atmalinga there. Now I'll be chanting the Mahavakya, and just by the power of the Mahavakya and the initiation of the Guru, we'll be seeing the Atmalinga stand. So now I'm just placing my Atmalinga and making my hand straight. And now I'll be chanting the Mahavakya intensely, and we'll all see the manifestation happening. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Yes, beautifully we have seen the Atmalinga manifest, the Atmalinga stood and it rolled behind. So this is the powers of Paramashiva, and now we'll be going into another segment. As we heard in the starting of the whole program, the beautiful Bhava Samadhi Darshans that we're going to be having live from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism today. We are going to be having having the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. But before that, we need to understand about what the manifestations of Paramashiva are. And so we'll be having a direct segment where we'll be listening directly from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism about about the various manifestations. And now, if you want to really manifest these powers on your own, take this moment now, because we are in the space of entanglement. All the viewers watching us live now are being blessed by Paramashiva himself to watch this amazing manifestation happening. So take this time now to register yourself for the Mahaparamashivoham program, because the goal of all of our life is to manifest Paramashivoham. And we might be doing it through various other ways, but the ultimate goal of our life is to manifest Paramashivoham. So take this now time to create that intention. Go to paramashivoham.org and fill that intention form to create the manifestation happening. Because only when you see the manifestation happen, you'll really manifest it. So now let us take this beautiful opportunity, and we'll be coming back to you with the beautiful segment of where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism itself will be explaining to you these various manifestations. So we'll be right back with you after a short break. Nithyananda.
A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Mahaparamashivoham program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Vedagamas, the original source scriptures of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the ancient original Vedas and Agamas in all its glory, in a user-friendly way for the modern mind. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is transforming human beings into divine beings, reviving, initiating, and replicating the 463 powers from the Agamas revealed by Paramashiva. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not just giving solutions for every problem man faces, but is making them irrelevant to their lives by transforming human beings into divine beings.
Listen. Any argument presented by your mind, body, your present reality to establish you are not Paramashiva, you are not omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Anything presented to prove you are not Paramashiva is illegitimate. Decide this. This is super determinism. Understand? Anything you declare as illegitimate will lose power over you, will die in few days, few minutes, maybe in few weeks, whatever few days it takes. It will not have power over you. Understand, this is the method for sudden enlightenment. This is the method for sudden enlightenment. It happens by the Shaktipada. Here Paramashiva is sitting. to tell you all, you are Paramashivam, you are me, with Shaktipada and Shaktinipada.
The Dvitiya Vijnasa Krama is an extensive and thorough yoga sequence to prepare your body to receive the experience being given by the Supreme Founder of Hinduism. Through the yoga, which is aligned as per the source scriptures laid down by Paramashivam and the Agamas, you break all the impossibility in your body and in turn break the very cognition of impossibility. The program leads you to go beyond your human frame and limiting human ideas, which prevents you from living your highest possibility.
I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment.
Again I tell you, I am not here to prove I am God, I am here to prove you are God.
Don't wait to become divine. Register now at paramashivoham.org. A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Vedagamas, the original source scriptures of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the ancient original Vedas and Agamas in all its glory in a user-friendly way for the modern mind. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is transforming human beings into divine beings, reviving, initiating, and replicating the 406.
Yes, Yana, we're back. Beautifully, Parameshwar Maharaj had demonstrated this power of consciousness over matter, where just through the space of oneness, being in one with the Atmalinga, remembering Swamiji, and chanting the Mahavakya mantra, the power of consciousness over matter manifested, and Parameshwar Maharaj was able to lift the Atmalinga from a horizontal position to where it stood vertically. Now, in this next segment, we're going to be learning about health. Today, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is going to be gracing all of us with the darshan of Vaidishwaranatha, the form of Paramashiva who bestows health upon humanity. Now, we're going to be watching a series of satsangs where Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expands on what is real health, how we can complete all the incompletions related to that, how these incompletions are formed, and how to bring them to completion as well. For this, you can all get ready and sit in the meditative state with your spine erect and bring yourself to the deep, restful space of listening. It is only from the space of listening, everything the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says will be imbibed in our systems. Yes. That is not.
When we say Dakshinamurti teaches in silence, it is not that he never utters a word, but just by a word, he will transmit petabytes of information. He sat as Dakshinamurti in his formless space. His very presence vibrated and all the rishis received that great truths. दक्षिणामूर्तये च विद्महे ज्ञानहस्ताय धीमहि तन्नो धीः प्रचोदयात् ॐ दक्षिणामूर्तये च विद्महे ज्ञानहस्ताय धीमहि तन्नो धीः प्रचोदयात्. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. When we say Dakshinamurti teaches in silence, it is not that he never utters a word, but just by a word, he will transmit petabytes of information. He sat as Dakshinamurti in his formless space. His very presence vibrated, and all the rishis received that great truths. Darshanamurtaye cha vidmahe jnanahastaya dhimahi tanno dheecha prachodayat. Om Darshanamurtaye cha vidmahe jnanahastaya dhimahi tanno dheecha prachodayat. Om Darshanamurtaye cha vidmahe jnanahastaya dhimahi tanno dheecha prachodayat. Om Darshanamurtaye cha vidmahe jnanahastaya dhimahi tanno dheecha. I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
So rishis say, declare, any disease is nothing but a cloud in your body, in your mind. Just like clouds, this also will pass, this also will move. We work intensely to cure once we fall sick. But somehow we don't try to prevent. Because when you are healthy, you take your body for granted. You take your health for granted. When you are healthy, you don't even remember your body. The definition of health is, if you are able to forget your boundary, you are healthy. If you are able to forget your body, you are healthy. There's a beautiful saying in Taoism, when the shoe fits, leg is forgotten. When the belt fits, belly is forgotten. When the chain fits, neck is forgotten. You forget. If you are healthy, you forget your whole body. You don't remember your body. You don't remember your boundary. You don't think that I should do something to maintain my health. One more thing. We always think no diseaseness as a health. If you are not going to any hospital, if you are not taking any medicine, if you are able to manage your day-to-day routine without any medication, you think you are healthy. But according to me, the definition for health is a positive well-beingness. It is not only no diseaseness. No diseaseness is only one part of health. There is something more to health than simple no diseaseness. The positive well-being. Positive well-being more than no diseaseness is what I call health. Life. If you look at the life from the point of view of the masters, ancient masters, the rishis, they say it is just to be lived in a blissful way. They say Anandam Brahma Navyajanat. There is a quotation in Sanskrit. It means existence is bliss. Don't waste it by missing it. Existence is the very existence. Your very life, your very breathing, your very living in this body is bliss. They say the body is filled with nectar, with bliss. The very life is bliss. And then they advise, please don't waste it by not enjoying it, by not experiencing it. Once you start feeling I am the body, you start feeling the boundary. Feeling the boundary is nothing but sickness. When you forget the boundary, you are in health. When you are totally healthy, you just feel like flying. In Zen Buddhism, they say if somebody walks, he cannot be Buddha. Buddha floats. Means don't think he'll be flying, literally. It more means not a physical flying, it's a being which floats. When you are really healthy, when you are really blissful, when you are in ecstasy, you don't walk, you just float. Because your being is so light, so beautiful, just like a flower, you float on the planet Earth.
Few basic truths, basic understandings. One, health is not just absence of illness. If you are not in the hospital, if you are in the house, don't think you are healthy. Health is not just absence of illness. It is something more than that. It is well-being. Just because you are not in the hospital, absence of disease does not mean you are healthy. First truth. I want you to internalize these few truths so that we will further work on some homeworks. Second, health is a state of physical, psychological, emotional and spiritual well-being where you feel life is good. Rarely, sometimes when you wake up in the morning, maybe for 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes, you will feel life is good. Wow. But very rarely you feel that. Those are the moments you are healthy. But in the modern day, especially city life, the stress level is so high, you forgot like this, sometimes you even feel life is good. Health is a state of physical, psychological, emotional and spiritual well-being. I wanted you to understand not only your patterns or engram, even the way you feel about you is very important for your health. Even if you don't have any external stress, but if you have a wrong idea about you, that itself can destroy your health. I have seen many villages. They don't have any stress. They are not in corporate companies. They don't need to get up and just eat their breakfast while driving and land in the corporate office and whole day get kicked by the boss, and the evening come back and just sit in front of TV for 1 hour and fall asleep. No, they don't live that life. Many Indian villages still retain their innocent life. Morning slowly they will wake up around 9 o'clock, come and sit in the village tea shop and drink the tea and talk the whole politics and story, everything till 12 o'clock. Then slowly 1 o'clock take bath and go around and see the land, the agriculture happening, come back 7 o'clock and sit in front of TV till 10 in the night, fall asleep. There are people, even they fall sick and they also don't live long because the concepts they carry about themselves, the ideas they carry about themselves. Not only the active pattern, the passive beliefs you have also affects your system, also affects your health. I can define health. Physical health means the stomach which can digest anything. Mental health means the mind which can digest any concept. The mind which can digest any concept is mental health. Stomach which can digest anything is physical health. Consciousness which can digest anything happening in life is spiritual health. I tell you, with these 4 tattvas, integrity, authenticity, responsibility and enriching, first thing will happen, you will have physical health. You will have physical health. If your intestine muscle memory can taste the healing, pleasant feeling which comes When you practice these four tattvas, I tell you, you are successful in the life. You will be successful in the life. Because only when your root thought patterns are complete, your intestine can taste the power of these four tattvas. Till then, your brain may taste, but not your intestine. Only when you are in completion, your stomach can sit in a relaxed way. Sitting without restlessness can happen only if your navel is cool and healed. Only if your navel is complete and healed. Spiritual activism starts when your muscle memory experiences, recognizes integrity, authenticity, responsibility, and enriching. I tell you, if you start living integrity, authenticity, responsibility, and enriching, first thing, the hundreds of questions you have, you will discover answers. So first thing, physics of conscious sovereignty. Conscious sovereignty is the ultimate of life. Physics of conscious sovereignty is building a body with a spiritual stamina. Listen intensely. Listen carefully, deeply. Every word now I utter can become your realization, your experience. So listen. Building a body with a conscious stamina. Actually, building a body with a spiritual stamina, conscious stamina, is very easy job. Too easy. I can give you just some 10-15 simple tips. If you start following for few days, automatically you will build a body with a conscious stamina which can manifest Paramashivatva. Because my gurus have done it for me. I know the precise methodology. Without wasting much time, I can teach you. Many instructions, tips I would have given you. Please add castor oil in your food every day, at least 1 teaspoon. See, don't add too much castor oil, then you may feel dehydrated, tired. At least 1 or 2 teaspoons per day or per meal. See, if you are taking only 1 meal a day, then go for just 1 teaspoon, not more than that. So based on the food intake, choose. These are two simple instructions. It's not something very difficult, complicated. Very simple. I tell you, I can give you one or two examples. When you start having spiritual stamina, conscious stamina, you will carry such an amazing space. Anyone can ask anything. You will never feel irritated. You just know you are so happy they asked you. You will never feel demanded. You are so happy. The people come into your space. More and more people you enjoy in your space, more and more you are a successful being. Because you know your pure space never gets trampled by even millions of people entering into your space. The conscious stamina triggers, snowballs, initiates thousands of good things in your life. I tell you, 1 teaspoon castor oil can keep you in a pleasant mood 24 hours. Don't take my words casually. I am very serious. If you start doing it, you will understand. If you start doing it, you will understand. Within 6 months, you will understand. If you are a person constantly irritated, easily triggered, just use castor oil. You may think, what, castor oil? To remove the irritation? Yes, I am telling you. Castor oil will remove the parasites sitting inside your stomach, which triggers irritation continuously. The castor oil and parasites are anti. They don't like it. Listen carefully. Your pitta is responsible for making you doubt about yourself and about your future. See, many times you feel insecure. Oh, if I take sannyas, will I be happy in Kailasa? If I take up this commitment, will I be happy in my life? Not being sure about yourself, you destroy your life so much. So many wonderful things in your life is lost because you don't feel sure about yourself. Especially spiritually, consciously. I've seen so many people have this problem. Will I be happy if I take sannyas? Will I be able to be peaceful and happy if I choose to be with Swamiji? Will I be happy if I choose to be in Kailasa? All you need is just this Karsalangani powder, Karsalangani leaf, and every day apply on your upper palate and clean the whole pitta and kapha. Make your body, samatva sarira. I tell you, not only my guru gave me 5 gulfi ice cream, he gave me something, the greatest, which is useful in my life till today. That is using Karsalangani and taking out all the pitta and kapha and making me balanced. Listen, whenever your internal organs are strong, your breathing becomes strong. Strong breathing builds a strong internal organs, strong body. Very easily you will build strong muscles. Karsalangani powder, taking it in your thumb, applying on the upper palate and cleaning all the kapha and pitta is such a simple act. It's not at all difficult. Karsalangani is available even in Amazon nowadays. That powder. And every village home in India, you will see Karsalangani, Ponnangani, Murungakkira. Add all this stuff in your life every day. Karsalangani, Ponnangani, Tooduvala, Murungakkira. Just the simple instruction. I tell you, strong internal organs. When the kapha is cleansed, you get the stamina in your breathing, strong breathing. When pitta is cleansed, you get the strong visualization. You will not have doubt about yourself. When sometimes people tell me, Swamiji, I can't handle, I don't know how to care about how to carry on with my life. I feel this problem is because of the pitta. If you ever had the feeling, oh, I may have a mental breakdown, I cannot handle this, I'm feeling suffocated. If you had this problem, your problem is simply pitta, nothing else. Apply Karsalangani on your upper palate. Clean your pitta. You will have so much confidence about you. You will have so much confidence about you. I tell you, you may never imagine such a simple acts can solve such huge problems in your life. First, I will reveal what Paramashiva reveals. The sacred secrets to have successful relationship with yourself. Listen intensely. Your body evolved various levels from amoeba to fish, fish to monkey, monkey to man, and still it is evolving. This process is called mutation and natural selection. For example, based on the situation, for your survival need, your body goes through a process called natural selection, and your DNA gets better and better with this natural selection process. Unfortunately, still human beings are not realizing the truth. You are totality of the evolved body and descended consciousness. Please listen. You are totality of evolved body and descended consciousness. You are not just evolved from monkey, just an evolved body. Evolution theory is not wrong, but not complete. Listen to the truth. How the body evolves with the process called mutation and natural selection. That's the words scientists are describing as a reason for our body, our system evolving, and DNA having breakthroughs. Just like evolved body, the descended consciousness have its own process. Descended consciousness has its own process. In the body, it's called natural selection. In the level of consciousness, I'll give this process, the equivalent of the natural selection process happening in the level of superconscious descending. I'll give the title of, listen carefully, conscious decision. In natural selection, you have to select from available options. In conscious decision, everything is possible for you. There is no limited options presented in front of you. There is no such thing as here there are million options, choose from this. No. Only in the body level, physical level, million options are presented and you are asked to choose anyone. That is what is called natural selection, based on the situation, survival of the fittest, and multiple reasons you do natural selection. But the descendants of the superconsciousness, it's a conscious decision. The good news is this moment you can decide to be liberated. There is no step by step. This moment consciously you can declare, I am unclutched. Then the pure superconsciousness will just blast your whole body and DNA and alter it to the level for the superconsciousness, Paramashiva, to manifest his glory, the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva and being of Paramashiva. Listen. Natural selection and conscious decision, if you understand these two, you know how to create a right communication and relationship with you. If you cognize yourself only as a descended consciousness, you are not complete. If you cognize yourself only as a evolved DNA, means evolved body, primate species, you are not complete. You are neither just an evolved body nor descended consciousness. You are both. If you understand you are a descended consciousness, you will blast yourself within the system you are carrying. You will explode yourself within the system you are carrying. You will alter the whole system from natural selection to conscious decision. Understand? If you are too much cognizing yourself as a body, you will push even superconsciousness to the natural selection process. If you cognize yourself too much as descended consciousness, you will liberate even your body with a conscious decision process. Understand these two: natural selection and conscious decision. See every day in your life how your life is flowing. Is it more natural selection based or conscious decision based? In reality, you are consciousness and body together. Even after liberation, as long as your body is functioning, you are together. The good news is you can open the floodgates of consciousness and blast your whole system with that super consciousness. Then even your body will start acting in the level of conscious decision instead of natural selection. Actually, I feel that whole thing, all of you in front of me, and this whole hall, this mic, everything, this throne, everything, kind of a liquid, semi-solid, where the Bhava freezes, where the ideas becoming idols. In that space, I can see the whole operation happening. From this space, I want to give you one advice. Please understand. Whatever you believe, your body makes that into reality. I can see from this space, if somebody believes sannyas is too easy, just body builds its structure, its DNA, to make sannyas simple and easy. If somebody believes it is very difficult, complicated, structure starts making that same thing, and you have a fear, it is very difficult, but you want to believe willfully it is easy, then that will persistence just swallowing that fear, like a saraba swallowing the simha, like a dino swallowing sharks. I can see the will persistence swallowing the fear. If you feel living in this place is the best, I am seeing you manifest that. If you feel I may not be in tune with this now, then I see that same thing getting manifested. If you feel the fear is there, I may not be successful, I may not fit in, but with will persistence you want to feel, no, I will fit in. This is the best place. Then I see the will persistence behaving like a sharaba. Listen. I am not 4D theater, Universal Studio to shake you and give you the experience of earthquake, accident. No. I don't need to do any of that. My words are enough. I tell you, really I tell you, today I'll make you experience how liquid you are. You can touch and feel everything is in the mercury state. The way you want it to become solid, it becomes solid. Your cognition solidifies it. That is what is consolidation. Your cognition solidifies it, consolidates it. Sit as pure consciousness. If you don't know how to visualize it, you can decide to visualize Mahasadashiva. The form here carved with thousands of heads means all the heads here are your heads. The head of the Indra, head of the Chandra, head of the Surya, head of the Shani, head of the Guru, head of the person who is sitting in Batala, everything is part of your head, your neck. All those identities are your identities. Sit with that cognition. You may not know how to come to the conclusion about consciousness. So, come to this decision, conclusion. Everyone here, everyone everywhere, every animal, everything exists. Big, big sharks inside the ocean. Huge living and non-living entities. No, I should not use the word non-living, sorry. Animate and inanimate. They may be inanimate, but they have life. They are alive. Stavaram jangamam vyaptam. Whether it is stavara or jangama, you penetrate everything. You pervade everything. Sit with that decision. Sit with that conclusion. I'll show you how liquid this whole universe is. It is your bhava does the spanda. It's your bhava does the spurana. Understand? I'm really seeing this whole semi-solid existence. I'm actually sitting on the threshold. Because I have to be with the reality and I have to relate with your reality. I have to be with my reality and relate to your reality. Powers are nothing but your brain deciding to believe the magical existence of you against the logical existence of you, which is taught to you by your society. See, your society taught to you only the logical existence. Your brain deciding to come to the conclusion, cognition of magical existence, magical way of existing is what is power manifestation. That's all. I tell you, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are consciousness. Sit with this one truth. Trusting just because I said, you will not perish. Name bhakta pranashyati. My devotees do not perish. When you come to the conclusion, your consciousness, your pleasures will change. your purpose of existence will change. Why you want to exist will change. I tell you, whatever you feel as you, whatever you concluded as you, whether you like it or not, just by your breathing you spread that. If you are joyful, by your breathing you spread that.
Yes, welcome everyone. Beautifully, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained what real health is. It's not just living in your house, not being in the hospital. That is not real health. What is real health is living fulfilled, living with complete well-being. That is what is real health. Now, after beautifully going and listening through this whole process of what is real health and how to come to completion and allow the complete health to express throughout your body completely, we are now going to be entering the next segment of today's